Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I believe it was a few videos ago now that I mentioned weddings and how people put a lot, people put a lot of pressure on weddings and make them into such massive things instead of, the fact that they are a day to celebrate love and partnership. And I mentioned the subreddit called r/wedding shaming, and it reminded me how much I love looking at wedding drama. So today I thought I would bring you an episode of just looking at some wedding drama and talking about it and laughing at it. And yeah, so I thought that I would go through the subreddits r/wedding shaming and also r/wedding drama because they're so fun to go through, and I wanted to share some gems that I found. So let's get into it. This wedding felt like a content shoot, not a wedding. I went to a wedding last weekend and I still can't decide if I attended a celebration or just a full day Instagram shoot. The couple barely spoke to each other the whole time. The bride was busy redoing poses again and again, and the groom was mostly hanging out with his friends or on his phone. Every 10 minutes, someone from the photography team was stopping things like, wait, one more shot. Guests were just there. No one knew what was happening. We were told food would start soon, but soon turned into almost 2 hours. People were getting irritated, but nobody wanted to say anything. Also, there were these weird rules everywhere. Don't sit here, don't touch this setup, don't walk in that area because it'll ruin the photos. At one point, I genuinely felt like we were extras on a set. I totally understand wanting a nice wedding and good pictures, but this felt so forced and awkward. Didn't feel like anyone was actually enjoying it. Is this how weddings are now, or was this just a badly planned one? It was a badly planned one. This is what I mean of weddings are meant to be a day of celebration and love, right? That's the point of them. They are meant to be there to celebrate love with your friends, with your partner, with your family. And so many people make them into just aesthetics. They make it into the photos. That's the most important part of the day. You have these people who are like, my bridesmaids must fit into this size dress. They must do their hair like this. They must do this. Everyone has to do this. Everyone has to, and there's so many rules. And then this situation of being there was no food for hours because they were just taking lots of photos. You weren't allowed to touch things because they needed to take photos. People weren't interacting. The bride and groom weren't interacting because it was all just there for taking nice aesthetic photos. The reason we take photos is to remember things. Photos are memories. Taking a photo that looks nice on your wedding day is fine, good, right? You want good photos. But if there aren't good memories attached to it, it makes the photo not as good, right? If you had a wedding that no one was enjoying, that you didn't really enjoy, that was just this very sanitized thing that was set up to take good photos, the photos, sure, will look nice, but in the future, when you look back, you're going to look at the photo and you're meant to look at your wedding photos that was a fantastic day. That was the happiest day of my life. That was such a wonderful, fantastic day we got to spend together and spend with our friends and family. And it's meant to evoke those emotions in you. The point of a photo is to make you feel things. That's the point. If your wedding is just a photo op, you're not going to feel the things you're meant to feel when you look at photos of your wedding. I've been to an influencer wedding before. I've been to a wedding of someone whose job is to make content, Instagram content, and they were creating content on their wedding day. But it didn't feel like a content shoot. It didn't feel like that at all. That was just something that did happen, but was not the main thing. It was a wedding, and it was a beautiful wedding that also they were taking lots of photos and filming videos and things. You can have both of those things simultaneously. It can still be a beautiful day, and everyone has a good time, and it's fun and fantastic and lovely, and also you can have good photos, right? I also personally just think the best photos are the ones that aren't staged. I hate every photo of me that isn't candid. Candid photos are the best photos. You don't want everything to be perfect. Life isn't perfect. Your wedding isn't perfect. it's so fun to have things that are imperfect, capturing you in the moment, capturing funny moments, and like just you existing. The best photos from weddings are the photos where like people are captured a little bit off guard and it's not set up. It's such a weird thing. Such a weird thing. Yeah, it was just a poorly planned wedding. And I think people put way too much pressure on wedding and like aesthetics than like the actual intention. This is a text that someone sent to a bar. They sent this message to a bar and it reads, "Hello, my name is blank and I am getting married on August 8th, 2026. We are creating raffle baskets for our wedding reception and are asking local businesses if they would be willing to donate a small item, service, or gift card to include in a raffle basket. In return, your business name will be displayed on the raffle basket and recognized at the wedding reception and also on social media. We love supporting local businesses and would be very grateful for your support. Thank you for your consideration." I love being like, we support local businesses, so give us free things. No, that's not how this works. You can get things donated to you from local businesses for like charity raffles because it's like the same as a donation, or like sometimes they will donate for raffles, but it's going to be at like actual events and like recognized events, usually charity stuff. People aren't going to donate to you for a wedding. That's not something that you should be asking for donations for. That's such an entitled thing to do. If you're going to do a raffle, and are people paying you for the raffles? Like if you're creating raffle baskets, are people buying raffle tickets from you? Because if it is a one that you are personally pocketing on your wedding day, you definitely even more do not, you do not get these things for free. You buy the things and then you make back that money through people purchasing the raffle tickets from you. You don't get free things and then also get money. That's not how it works. The donations happen when it's for charity, because then not when it's going straight into your pocket and you're just profiting, especially for a wedding. Very entitled. If you want to do a raffle, buy things. If you can't afford to buy things for the raffle, that's fine. Don't have a raffle. What, do weddings do raffles? I'm like, I've never seen a raffle at I've been to 3 weddings, so I don't know if that's a thing that happens, but it seems like an odd thing to have at a wedding. Speaking of entitled, this is something someone posted into their neighborhood Facebook group. So this is not for friends and family. This is for everyone in the neighborhood Facebook group who are, includes a lot of strangers. Okay, hey everyone, just wanted to try post this here. We were not going to do a honeymoon for our wedding, but we actually had someone paid for a resort for us to stay in, which is really sweet. We just need some help with the gas to get there and to get a few groceries while we are there. So we are trying to get a little help with monies instead of getting gifts. And then a post being like, pick a date and send us on our honeymoon. And then you donate however much, from $1 to $31. It's okay to ask for donations for your honeymoon if you are asking from your guests, right? And not as a like, give me a gift and money for the honeymoon. You can ask for wedding gifts, like instead of giving a registry, instead of asking for gifts, you can give the option of donating for a honeymoon. That's what I did for my friend's wedding. It was either like, here's some wedding gift ideas, or if you would rather, we would really appreciate a donation of any amount to go towards our honeymoon, which I think is fine. Like if I'm going to be spending money on something, I would rather, to be honest, like help you out, pay for you to go on a nice honeymoon than buy you just like a standard wedding present that, you might not even need. Maybe someone else has already gotten it for you. There's a whole bunch of reasons. I think that like, if I'm going to spend money anyway, I'm happy to give it to you to go towards your honeymoon, but you don't ask that of random strangers in a Facebook group chat. Put it on the wedding invite, send it out with the registry, ask your friends and family who are invited to the wedding. It is not the responsibility of other people to donate to you for your honeymoon. There are so many more things that get the priority for people donating. If there's someone in your community who's like lost their house to a fire or something, they can go and ask in there maybe, not for like trying to go on your honeymoon. Okay. I get you're trying to, shoot your shot and just like go for it, but it's quite tone deaf. It's not great. Not a great look. Maybe don't be doing that. This is a text conversation between two sisters. So the older sister is getting married and she is texting her younger sister. Now, her younger sister is not invited because it is a child-free wedding. Younger sister is 19. Yeah. Okay, so 19-year-old sister is not invited to the wedding because it's child-free. Sister said, view wedding registry, and sent a link to the wedding registry. And she replied, is this your wedding registry? What else could it possibly be? Why are you sending it to me? You're my sister? I'm not invited though. It's super common for people who cannot make it to get a small gift. Can't make it does not mean not invited. It's a child-free wedding. I'm a fully grown adult. You're under 21. You're having a dry wedding. Why does that matter? We've been over this. That was before a gift was requested. I am an adult. It's my wedding and you're a teenager. It's clear by your reaction to my decisions regarding my own wedding, you are not mature enough to attend adult events or even exist in adult spaces. It's my money. Not getting a gift and begging for expensive crap from a broke college student is cringe as hell. You're being immature and unsupportive. Fart noises. My point stands. The response of fart noises to your being immature and unsupportive is actually fucking hilarious. That's so funny. That's really funny. Iconic response. I'm fucking obsessed. Like, the fact that child-free wedding usually means like no children, like small children. Usually even teenagers are allowed. Like 14-year-olds will go to a child-free wedding. Even like sometimes like 12, 13-year-olds will go to a child-free wedding. It's child-free usually means, you know, the kids who are running around and being noisy and they won't sit still and you've got to like, you know, there's a risk of them interrupting, you know, they'll get up, they run away, they will laugh, they will cry, they will scream, they will be restless. Like it interrupts things. That's what a child-free wedding typically means. Kids who are old enough to understand, you know, how these things work and have the ability to be respectful and like understand the formal setting are usually allowed in these places. The fact then that it moves into even more being like, it's a dry wedding. If it's going to be a wedding with alcohol, then yeah, people in the US under 21 will maybe leave after the ceremony itself, like when the reception comes on and the bar opens, like maybe then they'll leave, but they'll usually be able to go to the wedding ceremony itself. But the fact that there's not even alcohol and it's still like 19-year-olds aren't allowed. You just hate your sister. Like, she just doesn't like her sister. Is really what's going on here. If you view your 19-year-old sister as a child, like, and not in the way of like you're in denial, like in the way that you truly are like, no, you're too young and immature to be at my wedding, sister who is a fully grown adult, and I just don't want you there. Like, fuck you, man. To have the audacity to ask for a wedding present from someone who's not invited is wild. And to add to the point of being like, yeah, not only is it like you don't buy a gift for someone if you aren't invited, but also children don't buy gifts for people. Children do not, even if children are invited to the wedding, children aren't buying gifts. So not only is she not invited, but she's also being classed as a child, and yet she's also expected to buy a gift. None of these things work together. What the fuck? And then I love calling her immature and being like, you're being so immature. And it proves that like you shouldn't be in adult spaces. She just set a boundary, man. She just literally was like, I'm not invited, so I'm not buying you a gift. Whoa, you're being so immature. You're the one being immature, girl. People are so entitled. Yeah, okay. This is a wine glass, like a big glass that has a Siamese fighter fish in it, or alternatively called betta fish. And it says, the wedding reception centerpieces featured betta fish. The bride and groom plan to flush them alive. And that's the most fucked up shit I've ever had. Is this legal? Animal cruelty laws are so fucked. Animal cruelty laws are so fucked because, you know, we value all different animals as though they're all different, and fish, who gives a fuck about fish? It's totally fine and okay to put a fish in a glass in the center of a table and then flush it alive. That should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. What the fuck? If I walked into a room and they had that, I'm walking out and then I'm never speaking to whoever's idea that was ever again, because that's like actually so unbelievably fucked up and requires such a lack of like compassion and such a high level of like self-centeredness that I like cannot even fathom. And if you are doing shit like this for an aesthetic, I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah, shame them to hell, man. Shame them to hell, because what the fuck? What the fuck? I cannot believe this is a thing people do. That makes me so upset and so mad. Maid of honor got drunk and confessed to be in love with my fiance. Gets angry because she's uninvited. What did she expect would happen? Why you think you can confess to being in love with the groom and then not be uninvited? Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Okay, to start off, and before I get attacked, she's been uninvited because she told me to my face in front of several family members and friends that he could have done better. She has only met my fiance once in her life, and I'm 100% sure of this. Girl, I wasn't even gonna attack you. I think that if she confesses to being in love with your groom, I feel like I'm not gonna judge you for being upset about that. But it's even worse now. So, carrying on. Here's what happened. We announced our engagement to my family and friends 2 months ago, but I had a family party to celebrate with some close friends and family members, the maid of honor and the bridesmaids, as well as some cousins, aunts, my moms, etc. The girls made lots of delicious cocktails. We played some games and everyone was having fun until maid of honor started getting dizzy on her 5+ Jello shot. And Miss Ma'am starts getting wild. Can't stop laughing, no one knows what she's laughing at, but we all laugh anyway. All of a sudden, she goes off about how lucky I am, how she never thought her gamer alternative weird friend would get married, and how my fiance is probably out of my league, so it's 100% luck, you hit the jackpot. She starts praising the man, and we're all like, trying to get her some water so she can sit down and shut up. Pausing for a second already, Jesus Christ, she's already uninvited in my book. She doesn't have to say anything more. Imagine your maid of honor, so like your best friend, right? Sitting down and being like, I never thought my alternative gamer nerd friend would ever get married. That's so fucking, can you believe this fucking weirdo is getting married? Whoever she's marrying must be so out of her league. The disrespect is astounding. That reads as someone who like has been your friend only because they think they're better than you, and so like being around you makes them feel good about themselves. Like she's one of those people who like keep friends around specifically to fluff her own ego, and she's like, I feel good standing next to you. That's so fucked up. What a fucked up thing to say. And if this is coming from a jealous perspective of being like, I don't get why she's being married before me. Like, why has she found someone when she's such a loser and I'm so cool and hot and I don't have anyone? Like, girl, I think I know the problem. And it's that you're a fucking asshole. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? You're a bad friend and a bad person. I am going to keep reading, but like already, right call. Uninvite her, delete her number, block her. Cousin starts getting really angry, calls her out for saying those things, so they start screaming at each other. I'm trying to call her a cab so she can leave before my family stones her. My mom finally asks her to stop. She says something like, Jackie, you don't want people to get the wrong idea. I don't think you're meaning to say what you're saying right now. But Jackie just won't shut up. And she says, well, if I've been there, the story would have been different, implying that if she'd been there, fiance would have fallen in love with her instead. So confirming what I was saying before, that she's literally friends with this woman because she thinks she's better than her. And it makes her feel good to have a friend who she feels better than. My fiance and I met on the last year of college, and she went to college overseas for 4 years, which is why they've only met once for like 30 minutes. And that's when I exploded and told her she wasn't coming to the wedding anymore. Not if she is going to say all those things to me in my own house. Not if she's going to say all those things to you, any of those things to you, anywhere, at any point in time. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Oh my God, the disrespect in literally everything. You're a loser, you're a nerd, you're fucking weird. Your fiance is definitely out of your league, and if I was there, he would be in love with me. Because why would anyone love you when they could love me? You're the worst. Oh my God. How are some people so terrible? I know she was drunk, but I just can't forget what she said. Some of the bridesmaids feel really bad for her and are asking me to let her be part of the wedding party. I'm not sure if I'm wrong or not. She hasn't talked to me since that night, but we've been friends for many years. So I feel like maybe I could talk to her about it. It's just weird. I was thinking of letting her come to the wedding as a guest, but the anger with which she said those words won't leave me alone. thoughts. My thoughts are, as they say, drunk words are sober thoughts, right? Like, yeah, she was drunk, but like, she still thought those things and said those things. Those are things that she genuinely believes. You can't mistakenly say shit like that. You can't say that shit and not fucking mean it. Like, that was way too far, crossed way too many lines, is not okay in any way. The bridesmaids who feel bad for her, I'm side-eyeing them as well. Because no one should be on her side. Everyone should be on your side. And if there is anyone trying to defend her or like is feeling bad for her, ask them why. Like, I think you need a conversation with them. And I think that you have every right to be so mad and so upset right now. You just have better friends. And like, being like, I feel we've been friends for a long time, so I think we can talk about it. I think you can talk about it, but I don't think you should forgive her. I think you can talk about it and like ask where it came from and where those thoughts were and how long she felt that way. Like, if you need closure for this relationship, then have a conversation. But ultimately, regardless of anything, she needs to be removed from your life because, oh my God, some people are the fucking God, I mean, I'm glad you found out at least that your friend is the fucking worst before she was in all your wedding photos forever. My mother asked me last night if she could wear her white wedding corset to my wedding. Hi all. Situation is as the title says. My mother approached me last night asking if she could wear her white wedding corset top to my wedding. Yes, the pristine white wedding top for her wedding gown that she wore on her wedding day. I said no, as that didn't make me feel comfortable and made me quite upset, and she immediately got quite angry and sad and didn't talk to me for the rest of the night. This isn't the first time my mother has done something like this. For my 21st birthday party, she wore one of my formal dresses that I wore years ago, and made sure to let everyone know that she was fitting into my clothes from my youth. It was also quite booby. I'm really struggling with the idea that my mother is going to try and steal the limelight on my wedding day to my beautiful fiance. But I'm also stuck because they have volunteered to finance the reception, so it's a bit of a sticky situation where I feel that she has a sense of entitlement to do what she wants, given that she's paying for a large portion of it. I'm honestly so over it at this point that I'm happy to just elope and never speak to anyone again. This is, see, zooming in on the issue, right, is with the words being like, I told her I was upset and uncomfortable and then she didn't talk to me for the rest of the night. Red flags, warning bells, alarms ringing. I feel like a lot of people receive this and don't recognize the fact that that is emotional abuse. Singing things that are hard to talk about because it softens the blow. So you are being manipulated. If you are saying she didn't speak to you for the rest of the night, like silent treatment from her as a response for setting boundaries is like a normal thing that happens. Your mother is not great. And you are right to be upset with her actions, and you possibly maybe should reflect on your relationship in general. Boundaries need to be worked on, and therapy needs to be had. I feel that there is some stuff that you need to sort out and work through, and therapy is going to be a really big help for you. And anyone who is watching this who is in a similar situation where you think that this is a normal thing that happens to you on the regular. Relatable, by the way. I get you. That's how I know therapy is your friend. And then the upstaging as well. Like, it's not just wearing white on your wedding day, but like wearing her own wedding corset. Why would you do that? Why would you even ask to do that? It is just such a show of wanting to cross boundaries and make everything about her. Wearing your formal gown on your 21st birthday and being like, I fit into my daughter's clothes. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop making everything about yourself. Oh my God, some people are so egotistical and it's so hard to watch and so fucking, like, I'm so sorry that you can't just have something that's your own. And then obviously the paying for it and using that as leverage and manipulation, like, that's not how this works. If she's offered to do something for you, you don't owe her anything in return for it, right? Like, this is the thing, is that if you have made, this is something that people don't seem to have a grasp on. A lot of people don't have a grasp on it, and a lot of these parents don't have a grasp on it, is if there was no agreement of a return being needed, then nothing is owed. If she has offered from the goodness of her heart, if she has offered because she loves you, I will pay for your wedding reception because I love you, then you don't owe her anything other than being like, thank you. I appreciate you. You don't owe her anything else, right? That's it. If she says, I will pay for your wedding reception on the condition that you let me wear my wedding corset to your wedding, then would you have accepted it? Right? Would it have changed the situation? If she gave that to you as a condition for paying to your wedding, would you have just declined her offer to pay? Because if the answer is yes, then you very obviously know that this was planned out in this way, right? But even regardless, like if that was not a term set in, if there was not a conversation of like things being exchanged, you do not owe anything. She is not entitled to anything. She's paying, but that doesn't entitle her to anything unless explicitly it was expressed that it does. And that's where this top comment on this post kind of rubs me the wrong way. And it says, here's the thing. By taking her money, you've left yourself wide open for this kind of manipulative nonsense from a person you already know likes to pull this crap. So you can either fight her the whole way or give back the money and tell her to take a hike, or just decide to let her show off how idiotic she wants to be. What will not happen? She will not pull focus or upstage you unless you let her behavior upset you on the day. No one is going to look at her and mistake her for the bride. No one is going to think she looks better than you do. People will be rolling their eyes at her and laughing behind her back. So you just need to choose your path and stick to it. And while I do largely agree, right? Like I do agree that, you know, people are going to see it and be like, well, why is she doing this? Like, it's such a foolish thing to do, and it's like see through what she's trying to do. And I agree with that latter half. I think that like, I understand the sentiment at the beginning of being like, taking her money when you know she does shit like this was like your fault. And I just don't think that's very helpful. Like, it might be true that like, you know, she knows that this is something that had the potential to happen, but sometimes you want to believe that something is being offered out of the goodness of someone's heart, right? Like there's this hope that you get from your parents of being like, maybe it'll be different this time. And like, is that naive to think sometimes? Sure, maybe, but that's not her fault, right? Like, it's not her fault that she wanted to believe her mom was just doing something for her because she loves her. And I don't think we should be faulting people for that. I don't think we should be telling people that they made a bad decision for doing that. I think that like it might not be the smart thing to do, but I also think that it's understandable. And like, I don't think you should feel bad for doing it. I don't think you should be shamed for doing it. I think that it's like valid for people to be like, I'm so sorry this has happened. I'm sorry that your mom is doing this again. I'm sorry that you've been taken advantage of, that you've been lied to. Like, I just don't think it's her fault in that way. And I don't think we should be painting it out as though it is her fault, because she hasn't done anything wrong. It just sucks. It's a shit situation. And again, I think that like, it's the thing of like, it's not the end of the world if her mom does wear white, because people are going to like be like, they know what's happening. But I also understand even having that knowledge and knowing that, being frustrated because you know what the intention is, and you know that like a game is being played at your own wedding, and you thought your mom wanted to do something special for you like you always do, but it turned out she was just pulling shit again and wanting to get love and attention. And that's so sad. And I think you're allowed to be sad about that. There's actually like, that happens so much too. Like, there's a lot of posts of just like typically mothers of the groom wearing white gowns to weddings. Like there are a couple posts of like, my mother-in-law wore a white short dress to the wedding. She also told me to get out of the frame for the second picture. And the white dress she's wearing is like, yeah, a white short dress with a pink ribbon, and the bride's dress is a white long dress with a pink ribbon. We love emotional incest. We love a toxic boy mom. How good, how fun. These women, man, these people need help. They need help. I am really, really hoping that this relationship is okay. I really hope that this man doesn't tolerate this bullshit from his mom on other days. I hope that this is like a one-off thing, and usually he's calling shit out and he doesn't just side with his mother all the time, because otherwise I smell a divorce coming. Mother of the groom at my sister's wedding wearing a long white wedding gown, because why would the mothers of the groom not want to wear a wedding dress to their son's wedding and then take photos with them so it looks like their bride and groom? Why wouldn't they do that? See, perfectly normal thing to do. Perfectly normal thing to do. Priest cancels wedding after seeing cry for help on groom's shoe and says church is no place for jokes. A video of Father Fabio Marino went viral on social media after he reported during an interview on the Lendercast podcast that he annulled a wedding due to a joke the groom made at the altar. The incident took place in Uberlandia. According to the priest, during the blessing, the guests began to laugh. Unable to understand why, he noticed that the groom had glued the phrase, "Help me, get me out of here," to the sole of his shoe. This behavior was interpreted as an impediment to the wedding, leading to the priest to cancel the ceremony. They knelt for me to give their blessing, and the church started laughing. I thought, something happened. When I saw what was on the groom's shoe, I took it off and got it. I said, "Look, this is an impediment to me validating your marriage. Therefore, the wedding is cancelled. You'll have to go through all the necessary procedures and decide if you really want to marry her, because you're asking for help." He also stated that the marriage must be performed consciously and spontaneously with no room for joking. When I asked if it was of your own free will, you said yes, but now you're asking for help. This isn't a joke or a theatre. Leave the joking for the party with your guests. I'm not there to celebrate something that isn't serious. If the groom is asking for help, he doesn't want it. In the name of the church, I'm obliged by canon law to suspend the marriage. The marriage becomes invalid, he explained. The incident generated significant attention on social media, dividing opinions among internet users. While some defended the priest's stance, others believed the groom's actions were merely a joke with no intention of invalidating the marriage. Well, it's not a very funny joke, is it? It was just a joke. He didn't intend to invalidate the marriage. He's literally in a situation where they're being asked, like, do you want to marry this person? And he's saying, no, I want help. Get me out of here. Like, that seems like he's trying to invalidate it to me. Does he really want to marry her? If you're making jokes about how you don't want to marry her, I don't think that's very funny. And I do think that counts as necessary to invalidate the wedding. You're saying that you don't want to be there. And it's just not very funny. I don't think those jokes are funny ever, but they are especially unfunny on your wedding day. Like, I do not understand why that is something you would do. Imagine being that bride. Imagine on your wedding day, you are like kneeling and you're about to say your vows and your husband says, "Help, get me out of here." I would flee so fast. Hey, if I'm like, it's great that it was called out and put to a stop, because now they're not married and she can leave. Because, that's not okay. That's not okay. And if you're ever in a position where someone does something like that to you, don't fucking tolerate it. Do not tolerate it. Walk out. Get out. Like, it's not funny. There's nothing even remotely funny about that. And I side with all the people who sided with the priest. Good job, sir. I also think that it's worth pointing out that, like, this wasn't even just like a wedding in like a casual place. This was a Catholic wedding with a priest. This was a Catholic wedding. They take that shit so seriously. You're gonna have a Catholic wedding and make a joke like that? What do you think is gonna fucking happen, bro? What do you think is gonna happen? Also, like, being in the audience and seeing that and laughing at it is also like, people need to grow the fuck up. They need to grow up. Like, it's not funny. You are choosing to get married, and like, I know so much work goes into weddings a lot of the time, right? Like, so much work, and like, people get so worked up about making it perfect, especially a lot of the time, usually, and definitely in this situation. The brides put so much of themselves into these days, into everything that goes into it, and then to have it be turned into this joke by the person who you are meant to be making a commitment to and sharing your love with. It's so disrespectful. It's just like so unbelievably disrespectful. And it shows to me how these men just like, this man does not care about his wife. He cares about making his friends laugh, and that is the priority. It's not about how much he loves his wife. It's not about how special this day is and how wonderful their relationship is. It's about pleasing his buddies and giving them a good laugh. And it doesn't matter what the consequences of that are and how it might make her feel. And so, perfectly good reason to cancel the wedding. And I hope that she left. And I hope that she found someone who does not do shit like that. Yeah, absolutely deserves to be shamed. Not the priest, but the act of the thing he did. That deserves to be shamed hard. Stop normalizing that. I hate my wife is not a funny joke. Yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna end this here. I hope you've enjoyed some wedding shaming, some wedding drama. I always think that it's a good time. If you want to see another one of these, please do let me know, and I will be happy to go through it. There are more wedding subreddits that exist. There's a lot of them. There's subreddits for so many things. Like there's like Bridezilla ones and such, but I would love like a male equivalent of that. However, considering a lot of the fucked up shit that men do at their wedding is just that they don't care, there's a lack of content for it, other than in places like this where they're doing shit like this, which I have actually made a video about before a while ago. So maybe I will do a Bridezilla video. I don't know. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. I love that I just had a conversation with myself. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Rain Remaining, Mossy Moose, Noah, Bingo Bango Who Ate My Mango, Kyarum, Bug Loves Cats, Kaylee, Kojo, The Beebs, Tess, Alicia, Bree, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic PT, Sushi Kawaii, Phil the Duck, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, Ikazel, and Alexis. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replay